Over the last 20 years or so, I've accumulated a lot of guitars, ranging from fairly inexpensive to quite expensive and everything in between. However, one of my absolute favorites is one of the ones that I spent the least amount of money on. My Art & Lutherie Parlor acoustic guitar that I bought for about $100. Today, I'm going to tell you the story behind it, why I love it so much, but first, why don't I play it a little bit for you. Now, before I tell you about this guitar, I'll quickly let you know that the back to school sale is now on over my course platform, samuraiGuitarTheory.com. Over there, I've got 5 courses that offer a deep dive into the method I use for making music. If you want to understand the building blocks of music theory and how it works for a guitar, my courses, The Rudiments and Beyond the Basics, are made for you. I've also got 2 courses that look specifically at soloing. The Craft of Soloing looks at phrasing and musical storytelling, while my newest course, The Style of Soloing, is a look at the fancy stuff you can add to your solos that really bring them to life. Everything over there is professionally animated to make the tough stuff easy to understand, and each course contains supplementary material to help you out with your learning. And for a bit longer, you can get any individual course half off with promo code BACKTOSCHOOL22, or you can use that same promo code on any of the bundles to get multiple courses for the normal price of one. As always, links are in the description, or you can find more information over at www.samuraiGuitarTheory.com. Anyways, let's talk about this guitar. Back in 2006, I was working at my local music store. We had a bunch of these in stock, and with my employee discount, it ended up costing me a bit more than $100. At this time, I had graduated high school, I guess it was about a year before, and then done a year of business classes at university, and just wasn't really liking the direction that my life was going. So not having any direction, commitment, or responsibilities, I figured that filling up a backpack, getting on a plane to Australia, and just seeing what happens over there for a while was the thing to do. Of course, I had to bring a guitar with me. I wanted something that was going to be compact, easy to take around, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money because I figured that there was a decent chance it was going to get stolen or destroyed, and plus I also just didn't have a lot of money. And sure enough, this little Canadian-made acoustic guitar fit the bill. I spent 6 months backpacking around Australia, playing this guitar around campfires, open mics, and at the hostels I stayed at. I went busking once in downtown Brisbane and made, I think it was $20 before being asked to stop because I didn't have a license. And I will say this about busking: with just an acoustic guitar and no proper amplification, you're gonna have a bad time and get drowned out by the sound of the city. I remember I had to play this guitar as hard as I could just to be faintly heard, and my finger was all bloody. There was blood all inside the guitar, and it would appear that all these years later, it's still there. As a souvenir of my trip, everywhere I went, I bought a patch and sewed it onto the bag. As you can see, some are falling off, but they're all still there. Now, while strumming around my adventure down under, I decided that I was gonna go for it and commit myself wholeheartedly to a career in music. When I got back to Canada, my guitar fortunately was intact, and I spent the next year teaching about 40 students as I prepared to audition for music school. And I will tell you that teaching 40 beginner guitar students is quite a grind. It is more babysitting than it is teaching guitar, but this was the guitar that I used for every lesson, and I also used it on my audition tape for music school. And though I brought my other guitar out to university with me, every summer I would come home and play this guitar in hospitals as my summer job. This broken hospital ID badge here is a souvenir from that job. And one of the great things about this job with this guitar was the gig bag with all the patches on it. Patients, staff, family would often ask me about it, and I would point to one of the patches and happily recall a story from, I don't know, Byron Bay. These days, I don't play it as much as I used to, but it still made a number of appearances on this channel. I used it while sitting on the dock of a bay last summer when I shot the time-lapse video in my parents' backyard. This was the guitar I used, and the second video I ever made, this is what I played, and I'm sure you can find many more videos with it. Besides my Telly, this is probably the only guitar that I have a real emotional attachment to. I've just used it at so many different stages at different points in my life. What started as a cheap guitar that I bought to be replaceable has become something irreplaceable to me. And you can see that in the guitar. It shows more wear than any of my others. You can see the neck, how discolored it is from all the playing. Like look, even right here on the headstock, there's a black mark, and that was because I kept a capo on there when I was playing at the hospital, and when I would play outside in the hot summer sun, I guess it kind of melted the rubber a bit, and now it is on there forever. And people are always asking me about this leopard print thing here. It has no practical function. This is the guitar that I would always take down to the lake with me, and one day down at Beezer's cabin, he had a caveman castaway party where we partied it up dressed as cavemen and castaways. The next morning I woke up and this was on the guitar, and 14 years later, it is still there. And I feel like this guitar punches well above its weight class. It plays amazingly well. It's not gonna fill up the room with the same character as my J45 or something, but it has a unique sound that I've really come to quite enjoy. I've never played another one like this, so I don't know if I just got lucky with this one or if the whole line from 2006 were just cheap gems. And so that is my least expensive guitar and why I love it so much. Price tags, features, fancy woods, craftsmanship, that's not all that matters. It's what you do with the guitar and the memories that you make with it. And with that said, I'm gonna play this guitar a little bit more. This is a piece that I wrote on this guitar not long after I bought it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is today's video. If you have a piece of cheap gear that you particularly enjoy, let me know what it is and why you enjoy it so much down in the comments. And remember, the back to school sale is now on at my course platform, samuraiguitartheory.com. You can hit any individual course for half off with promo code BACKTOSCHOOL22, or you can use that same promo code on any of the bundles to get multiple courses for the normal price of one. Links as always in the description, or find more at samuraiguitartheory.com. Thank you all for watching. If you want to check out another video like this one, hit that link up there. If you want to get some of that Sammy G merch, you can find that at shopsamuraiguitartheory.com. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and stay tuned for a wide range of music-related content. Until next time, look after yourselves, look after each other, look after the planet. I'm Samurai Guitarist, and I'll see you again soon.